What's up, you guys? It's Michelle here. Thanks for joining me today and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my November currently sheet, so stay tuned for a fun plan with me. Alright, I'm pulling out Autumn Allure from Live Love Posh, and I'll be sure to include my affiliate link. You can always use the code Michelle10 to save 10% off on everything excluding Posh boxes. But I want to use this really cozy neutral set that's got like the Thanksgiving fall quotes and the pumpkins, and I like it paired with the black and white. And I'm just going to go ahead and white out everything on here. I don't usually use it as it's intended with the top three. I usually use it sort of like the top goings on of the month or like a currently. And I am doing a voiceover on this because I recorded this in the camper while we were on vacation, and we are home now and just now getting a chance to do the voiceover. But I'm going to start out with this super cozy truck. I'm trying to just figure out where I want. I'm going to put it right here at the bottom with this little branch, or this big branch full of leaves kind of hanging over it. It just gives me a really cozy autumn vibe. And just trim off the excess so the truck looks like it's just sitting right on the bottom of the page. And then as soon as I saw the little bird, I thought, well, he's got to be sitting on the branches. So I'm going to just have him just kind of hanging out here on this little branch right above the truck. So cute. I love when the little animals become part of the scene. So now I'm going to use some pumpkins and some of these leaves to kind of fill out across the bottom. And I'm going to just white out this line also so it doesn't show through. So since we're back, I'm going to get back to just doing the regular videos that I talk through. But it was hard to do it in the camper with all the background noise and street noise of cars going by. So, but I do enjoy doing this because I'm able to sort of look at it and tell you more of why I did what or what I was thinking. So that is one good thing about it. And I know some of you have told me you like the voiceover. Some of you say you prefer it the other way. Really, I prefer to talk as I go along, but sometimes it is fun to do it like this and kind of, talk it through as I'm planning. So now I'm just looking for a place to put some of these little leaves falling. Okay, so this girl in the like black and white check dress, I knew I wanted to use her somewhere, but I didn't really like the idea of her sitting in a chair up there. I don't know, it just seemed funny with the truck down there. So I'm looking for a box. I've used all the larger boxes in these colors that I want to use, and I've decided to sort of have her sitting on a box. So I'm going to do a little sticker surgery and take off the chair. And I had to be really careful so I didn't take off any of her. I didn't want it to look like I had cut it apart. So I'm going to use this sort of apricot caramel kind of box right here and have her just sitting on the edge of that. And I think it looks cute with her dress kind of hanging over the edge like that. But I wanted to be able to use all of the box and trim out the excess, and I think it looks equally just as cute the other way. Actually, I think it looks more like, I don't know, like it's part of, like it's a cluster that came like that. And so now I'm going to use the other branches with the leaves, but I don't want it to look exactly the same. So I'm going to trim a little bit off here and put it up at the top to cover up some of that whiteout. And I don't need a ton of space in these currently sheets, but just enough to state like the main things that were going on. And if I didn't have any super exciting news, I'll just note what I was reading, watching, the typical currently prompts. So now I'm just trying to figure out how I can use some more of this branch, again, without it looking like the same sticker as at the bottom. So I pulled that up, and you know how sometimes it takes up some of the white out. And with this video, I tried to leave in more of the, like the thought process where I put things down, take them up, try things, and, you know, decide they don't work, because I can just kind of talk us through it this way. So I'm trimming off a little bit of, I decided not to use the rest of that there, but just this other leaf and branch sticker to kind of finish out the side. And I knew I wanted to use this super cute dog, so I'm going to put him kind of hanging out by the truck here with this leaf. Isn't he precious? He or she. And then grabbing some more of the little smaller leaves to scatter around. So while I'm doing that, like I said, we just got home from vacation. We drove yesterday, spent the night somewhere, and drove all day today. So I'm so excited to be home and see our wiener dogs and get back to my craft room. So back to our spread, I found these 2 white pumpkins, and then I'm going to put another pumpkin that has that little black and white plaid bow. And there's a little sneak peek of my after the pin for Halloween week. Just trimming off the excess. All right, so just placing those leaves around so they look like they're just organically falling. Of course, I want to have a few here and there. So I knew I wanted something sitting behind her, so I think I'm going to take this leaf up and use this lantern with the leaves and pumpkins. I think that looks so cute, and the scale looks about right. It doesn't look like way too big or too small. So of course I want to use that scrap, the leaf that was sitting there. I cut it so I could use it 2 different places. And now I am pulling out this Colorful Creature sticker book from the Happy Planner. It's a memory keeping book because I didn't have very many of the large boxes in these colors, and this is almost perfect. So I thought I would just trim off the decorative part, or either cover it up with something. So I put it this way first, and here's where I'm going to go ahead and white this out so I can use something decorative to cover that up. But I ended up not liking how huge it was next to the other boxes, so I'm just going to scoot it over a little bit and use part of it, and then put some lines in it later and just trim that off. And I was glad to have that large box that I happened to have with me, because I didn't have all my sticker books with me when we were traveling. And these super cute pillows, the fall pillow, I love fall most of all, and the little black and white checked pillow. I thought that looked cute sitting there. So now I'm looking for something to put between the girl and that larger box. So I'm going to try out this quote that says, "Giving thanks today, tomorrow, and always." I thought about putting it at the bottom, but I'm going to go with it up here. And I do like that it has that pop of orange behind it. So now I'm thinking something up here to cover up this whiteout. I'm going to try out this sort of maroonish rust box and a little leaf. And I can already tell that I'm just not digging that, so I'm going to take that up. And a lot of times in a regular video, I don't leave all of this stuff in, but there are plenty of times that I try things and just don't like the way it looks, but for the sake of not having the video be too long, I'll cut that part out. But this happened to be somewhat of a shorter video, so I'm going to use this scrap that I just cut off that large pumpkin cluster to cover up the whiteout and kind of carry the border on across. Got some little scraps here I'm holding on to that I can piece together with that. So I think it's looking really, really cute. And this is where I decided I don't know if I'm digging the quote. I think I'd rather have just solid black quotes that really stand out and like make the colors pop. So I'm going to go back up to this top part and see what I can use from this scrap to finish out my little top border. And that little section just fits perfectly. Okay, so now I want to extend this cluster somehow. I'm trying out different shapes of boxes. It was a little bit more challenging, like I said, without having the full boxes in these colors. So I'm going to use the maroonish rust box here, that larger rectangle, but turn it this way. And now play around with how I can work in another box with this. And it's actually the same size box as that one she's sitting on, but I did want it to look like two of the exact same boxes. So I put it over here and I'm going to trim out the excess. And I just trimmed it roughly. So what I'm going to do now is use a little bit of the undo so I can pick that up and just tuck that under and it looks all nice and neat. And I'll put the undo in the description. If you haven't ever tried that, it's perfect for moving stickers around, doesn't harm the sticker or the paper. Now I'm going to squeeze a little bit more function in here. I'm going to have 3 of these bullet points in this caramelly color to list, you know, either top 3 things I want to highlight or things I'm grateful for. I don't fill out my currently sheet until the end of the month, so just wanted to have plenty of function. So now I'm bringing in some plaid Planty-Thing washi tape. It has the perfect colors and I want it torn just to cover up the whiteout area right underneath that box, just part of the way. So I'm trying this there. So I'm going to check this out and see. I like the colors. I like everything about it, except I don't love it with the checked black and white sort of plaid of her dress. I felt like it was too busy. So now I'm looking at this polka dot, and then I just decided, no, I don't want to put any washi with it. It made it too busy to have a plaid or any kind of stripe or pattern with her dress. All right, and then the little pumpkin I just placed on that box by the little doggy, I just put that there to sort of fill in a blank spot. I knew I wanted something there. And now the little black and white bow, I love bows. I put that up there on the larger box, and now I'm filling in with a few leaves. I really like small elements that fill out the spread, so I'm just tucking leaves here and there to make it look nice and full. And I've got a little leaf scrap here. I decided I want to trim it down so it's not so large. And this is where I'm trying out some black quotes. It took me a minute to find a quote that fit there, and then I found this one that I kept overlooking that says thankful, grateful, blessed. That fits perfectly there, and it didn't disrupt any of the other elements. And I decided I would pick the bullet points up that I had enough room up here to jot down 3 things, and then I could have space for another quote. So I just felt like it needed a little bit more quote action, and you know, something about Thanksgiving. I know I have the thankful, grateful, blessed, but since Thanksgiving is like the main highlight of November, plus it's my birthday month, but I did want to have like a Thanksgiving quote. So I'm going to try to work in some little bit more function here and there. I was thinking I could squeeze a couple in here. Trying that out. Looks a little too busy though. So now I'm going to see if I can work a box in over here, kind of sliding out from the truck, moving a little scraps around. And this will be perfect, and it's a way to add another item and doesn't look too crowded with the other boxes I have. So now I feel like I have plenty of function. But I am going to grab this white out and just cover up the part underneath the sticker so it doesn't show through, that cute little truck sticker. Okay, perfect. So now I'm trying to add maybe one more box, but I'm not really digging the way that looks. So I'm going to try it a few other places just to squeeze in one more place to write something. And I feel like right here above this little dog looks perfect. It makes like a small cluster. So now I'm moving a few little scraps around so I can add a quote. I like the leaves to be, you know, obviously falling at different directions and not too many of the same color like right beside each other. So I'm just kind of working it out. So now I'm looking for a quote that I can put in this space that I have here. And this Happy Thanksgiving is perfect. Almost perfect. I'm thinking, it looks a little crowded. So I'm going to pick that up and see what it's going to look like without this pumpkin. And I actually like this better because it doesn't have this quote right underneath that other one. So I'm going to work this in. And I've been wanting to use this little books sticker right here, but I never did find a place that it fit. Like, it looked way bigger than the truck and the girl. So I'm going to go ahead and just trim off these little scraps because I used paper stickers and I don't like how it's kind of covering up some of the boxes. Just want it to look nice and clean. So now I'm just trimming off that little bit of excess. And I want to fill in with more leaf action. So I don't really like that wide open space there, unless I was going to use it for some function. But like I said, it's totally a preference, whatever you prefer. This leaf is a little bit bigger, so I'm trying to figure out how I can use it. I'm going to just cut it to fit right on the corner of that box, like it's just falling. And then that little scrap that I cut out will be perfect right there. And I'm going to go ahead and add lines to this larger box. And that also breaks up some of that just wide open white space and gives me room to write, obviously. All right, and I just want to add another one of these adorable black and white bows, and that is going to be my November currently sheet. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye!